Hey everyone, Sonia here. I had a moment last night and I thought I would share that I was brushing my daughter's hair and giving her French braids. And whenever I do this, I make her sit on the ground. And let me back up. If you know, well, if you've been watching from me for a while, one thing that I like to focus on is positive self-talk. It's been a big growth for me as far as learning how to talk to myself in a positive way, how to reframe, how I look at mistakes and how I respond to myself after I make mistakes. Things like, adding the word yet, like, I can't chest press 40 pounds yet. Opening that possibility of the growth or being able to do it at some point. And every once in a while, well, as much as I think to, I'll try to get my older daughter to reframe her speaking as well, because I feel like if I can kind of like plant that seed early, then she'll have a better chance of like being brave and being vulnerable and putting herself out there, even if she's scared, things like that. And most of the time, I'm met with like eye rolling, like, oh, mom, again, but I just laugh because I'm like, well, eventually you're gonna understand, hopefully. And so I had a moment. I had bought her this growth life journal last Christmas, and it's been on a shelf for a while, since last Christmas. Now we're in November. And so back to the story. I was braiding her hair last night and she's sitting in front of me, and I noticed that she had pulled the journal out because she had recently been cleaning her room, so she probably found it, and she was writing in it. And there was one entry that said like, draw a picture of something that's positive, or a positive mantra for yourself. So she was drawing a picture of herself, like a full body, and then like some hand sign or something, but her shirt had a positive saying on it. And I noticed the face was blank, but I wasn't ready to say anything because I didn't know if, she just wasn't done, or, she was saving it till later. And so she saw me looking and she was like, oh, what do you think? I was like, oh yeah, that looks great. And she said, I left the face blank. And then she started to say, because I'm not good at drawing faces. Like, I could tell that's exactly what she was like, because I'm not good. And then she stopped herself and she was like, because I haven't, because, and she did this like 5 or 6 times, and I wish I could remember exactly what she said, so I'm just going to paraphrase, but it was like, because I haven't learned to draw faces yet, or something to that effect. And I was like, yes, because she could have said, because I suck at faces, because, I'm horrible at drawing faces, whatever. She could have said something that was like negative self-talk. But she didn't. She chose to stop, give herself a few minutes, and reframe that perspective. And it just, my heart was like, oh, she hears me, even if it's taken years, she hears me, and she's internalizing it. And it just gives me so much hope that she's going to have tools to drive herself towards what she wants to do. I let fear hold me back from so much in my life because, I had that like, you suck, you don't know enough, you're not smart, you're not, all these things. And it took a really long time to like let go of that and to reframe it. And, it's worth it now, and I hope that baby is even going to have a stronger foundation of that, because she won't know the part of me that Kylie saw, and sometimes that makes me sad, but that's part of her story. And I have to believe that that my older daughter and I went through the journey that we went through, because it's going to help shape who she is, and again, the tools that she has for her life. I almost started crying. So, anyway, I was really proud of her. And she saw the look on my face. She was like, was that okay? And I was like, yeah, I really appreciate the effort, that you put into changing how you said that, because, she knows how much importance I put on it. And, it just made me happy. And so my ultimate point is, let your kids see you struggle, but also allow them to see how you find solutions and how you navigate through hard times, and hopefully in a positive way, so that they have that model and that example, because life's going to get hard for them. And not the only, because there's all these other influences, that they have, but we are their primary influence. And as much as we can, I feel like it's our job to show them how to be true to themselves, how to be brave, how to be vulnerable, how to communicate, how to, one thing that makes her so mad is, she needs something. If we're at a restaurant, she's like, Mom, can you ask the waiter for? I'm like, no, practice asking for what you need. She's like, but again, it's something that took me a long time, to communication and asking for what I needed, and, being okay with needing help and accepting help. I could give you a whole list and talk for the next 72 hours about all the things that I had to work with as far as defects of character and stuff. But, yeah, our kids are watching, and even if it doesn't always seem like it, they're internalizing the messages that we're giving them. So as much as you can, try to give them positive tools to work with, so that they have a stronger foundation for their little lives, because they are just little people waiting to happen, or happening right before our eyes. I love hearing suggestions from other people. So if you like talking about stuff like this, then message me or tell me somehow, so that I can reach out, because I get a lot of my ideas from the people around me, and we swap out suggestions, we figure out what works for us and what doesn't, and the only way to do that is by collaborating and communicating and asking for what you need. And yeah, there's no real stupid questions, I think, when it comes to parenting, because we're all just figuring it out, and it helps a lot if you don't have to figure it out on your own. So that's my growth mindset PSA plug of the day. What do you think? Is it something you practice? Is it something you need to practice? Is it something you've never heard of? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Happy Monday. No, today's Tuesday. Have a great day.